Hello, good evening and welcome to UPfront. Tonight on UPfront, we bring you an incisive review of the 2024 general elections, a watershed moment in Ghana's political history, from shocking upsets to the shifting dynamics of voter preferences. We dissect the implications of the outcomes that have reshaped the nation's political landscape. Our focus zeroes in on one of the most unexpected results of the election, the unseating of the new patriotic party's MP, Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, in Ashanti North by independent candidate Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi. We understand he's a media entrepreneur and the owner of Salt FM. Mr. Appiah-Kubi stunned political observers with a decisive victory, securing 26,926 votes against Mr. Appiah-Kubi's 8,933. In this exclusive engagement with the Member of Parliament, still, of course, he stays in office till January 6th or so, he joins us as we preview what's happening to reflect on his loss, his unapologetic advocacy on national issues like economic governance, and his decision to step away from politics entirely. That we'll be discussing too. Was his outspoken criticism of his party's policies a strength or a liability? That question he must answer. And what does this say about the shifting priorities of voters in Ashanti North? We also have a bigger picture in this conversation. We'll be exploring what's happening across the country as the country vote massively against the governing party and very well for the incoming NDC party. Earlier today, we understand there was a transition meeting. The teams on both sides, they were inaugurated. This is the joint transition team. What holds for the future of this country? Let's not get it wrong. We have economic crisis to deal with. We also have on our hands a very serious debt issue. We have on our hands very serious matters to do with inflation and also exchange rate. Are these going to be resolved? Will John Dramani Mahama be able to live up to his 120-day promise? What's in the future? Will he attempt to change key institutional heads like that of the judiciary, the Electoral Commission? Are these possibilities on the table? Should we expect a progressive politics, or is it going to be business as usual? The Honorable Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
I hope this will not be the last time we have an interview.
Oh, why? I'm still a Ghanaian.
Yes, because you've been telling people that you'll be retiring from politics.
Yes, but politics is not the only enterprise in Ghana. Even if I retire from politics, I will still be a member of the community, and therefore my views I will always share.
They say
it is not closing my eyes and ears to politics. Virtually talking about local level politics, constituency politics, I won't be part again. But at least my opinions are free to share.
So you won't seek to come back to Parliament?
No, I won't. I will not.
Why not?
Don't you see me change person? The stress is all gone. Oh. And I'm expressing my will freely, and I'm enjoying my life again. And indeed, let me share some experience with you. I have been telling my friends who want to come into politics that develop a fallback position before you venture into politics. It's important.
What does a fallback position mean?
A fallback position means when you lose your political position, you can always get something to do. Therefore, you don't come home empty-handed.
Oh, I see.
You see, so the fallback position for me is my legal practice.
Okay.
So Monday, I came to my office, prepared myself, and tomorrow I'm going to court and I'm going to defend my client. So business as usual.
But you are still a member of Parliament. On the 16th, you are returning to Parliament.
Yes, on the 6th, I'm returning to Parliament. But for what? What do you expect to happen in Parliament?
A litany of laws this government wanted to pass.
Are you sure we have the capacity to do that? Are you sure the environment is conducive? Are you sure that we have a focus to pass legislation? Unfortunately, if we are not able to do that, all those unpassed bills will have to return to the dustbin.
True, some of them we have worked on to
again, because no bill will survive the 8th Parliament.
But is that not a problematic trend?
Well, it is, but this is what will possibly happen, because who is in the right frame of mind to go through the readings of the bills now, looking at what has happened and the confusion in Parliament as we left it? We are not in a good frame of mind to continue the normal work of Parliament.
Now, let me get this clarity from you. Many of us were happy when you won the primaries.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Though a lot of money was thrown around. Mm-hmm. Did you expect that you would lose the main election?
Well, I did not expect that. But at some point in time, I saw that the battle, it wasn't as easy as I thought. And therefore, I had to organize myself better than I had done. Unfortunately, I also realized that the prohibitions were high, and therefore it happened the way it did. And I have no regrets, because I've had the opportunity to also play my role as a parliamentarian. I want to thank the people of Ashanti North for giving me the honor to serve them. I have done that on 2 occasions, 2 terms. I think I had decided to finish a last term, and unfortunately, because of the projects that I had started and had not finished, unfortunately, people will come and continue. So I thank them for giving me the opportunity. I have no regrets at all.
Let's account for the ballot. You had 8,933. Your opponent, as in the independent candidate in the person of Mr. Frimpong, secured some 26,926. That is massive. What do you think went wrong?
These are facts.
Yes.
So I cannot contest them.
Yeah.
But I had circumstances that made it difficult for me to campaign.
Like what?
And like the whole party virtually in my constituency were against me, rather campaigning for the independent candidate.
As in your executives?
Yes. All my executives, all of them, except 1 or 2 or 3 of them. And the support from external forces that came, I couldn't, have survived them.
I mean, how is it possible that your own party was against you?
The media, the use of the media in politics negatively against a candidate. He had access to the media house, and the negative information.
But you're a more popular candidate than he is.
Yes.
I mean, I just got to know that he was in the race.
In a rural setting, when you're churning out negative information about somebody, what you thought was not right, people will still consume that information.
Oh, I see.
And take a decision.
Oh, yes. He owns a sort media or sort FM.
I made a lot of
like
complaints, but there were a lot of defamatory statements all over. And that one will handle at the appropriate time. But when you throw allegations upon allegations that were unfounded, you are still confusing people and you are still turning people around. That it was one aspect of it. The use of the media space negatively. So now the only remedy to me is to get them to come and establish the facts in the allegations they made in the appropriate quarters.
Were these before primaries, after primaries, or just before the election?
Just before the election, mainly. And even though I complained to people in NCA, they said they couldn't do anything.
Not the NMC?
NMC.
Because they do content regulation.
Yes. So therefore, when you have defamed me to that extent, I will have to seek redress, because I have to come you have to call you to come and prove your allegations. We'll do that, but let us not concentrate on that. Let's leave that for tomorrow.
I get you. Yes, I get your point. I was trying to see how a man that appears to many outside your constituency as a stellar MP, as an example of an MP, yes. A man that Justice Atuba says deserves to be at the Supreme Court.
Maybe I got punished for being who I am. I thank Justice Atuba for the commendation, but probably it's one of my problems.
Let's talk these external forces you talk about.
People also thought that I was not as partisan as they expected. But
Really?
that is me, yes. What is wrong for me, and my advocacy is not about political parties. In fact, I serve a nation, and my intention is to serve my nation. And if I want to contribute to society, I want to contribute positively to society, not to do the things that will otherwise bring me glory unduly and get society to suffer. No, I won't do that.
You said external forces were in your constituency. Who are these external forces?
Of course, didn't you expect that?
Because it's a constituency election.
Yes.
And this is not an area that the NDC was looking to win.
NDC, we didn't have won anyway.
Yes.
But they knew that NDC couldn't win, and therefore they needed to bring a force bigger than NDC to want to take me out. In fact, I was warned severally, but I still thought that I needed to contest and needed to prove my mettle. I did that the best I can.
These external forces, are they within your party or outside your party?
The forces within the party are much stronger than the forces outside
the party. Okay, I see.
Unfortunately. And sometimes they will think that they were attacking Appiah-Kubi as a person. Mm-hmm. But you will get your reward for what you do in all cases. And therefore, what we have gotten, we live to see. We have a parliament that is controlled totally.
An absolute majority.
By an absolute majority of NDC members. And then you have a minority that is very inexperienced, generally. So we will see.
I will come to that point because it's a major point I want to raise with you in this conversation. Because I fear for the future of our parliament too. I don't know if you express the same fear. I'm seeing that people are being elected across the country, and I'm beginning to get worried about the kind of standards we have in that house.
You see, it is because the rules of engagement are so lapsed. It's so relaxed to the extent that anybody of sound mind will come. You see, and this is Parliament. The principal preoccupation of Parliament is to enact legislation. And people are allowed to come in with no experience, no background, no preparation, no intellectual capacity, and you expect us to perform our principal role of enactment of legislation. And we have to be careful, because when we open the door widely without any security like that, anybody can enter. And the people who enter, not all of them will do good to society. You understand? So when we say that come in of sound mind, and that's all. You see, you need a certain level of preparation to be able to understand the shadow of assignments that will confront.
Would that not be discriminatory?
I will not be discriminatory. So if you want to do that, then you prepare yourself to get to that standard, and then you enter. You
okay, I get your point. Now, let me get this point from you. What made your opponent win? The independent candidate, the owner of Salt Radio or whatever the station is.
You have talked about one aspect of using wrongful use of the media space.
Yes, wrongful use of the media space.
Yes, because of the advantage he had.
Mm-hmm. Now, so basically, he had a radio station or TV,
right.
Radio station,
You're right,
and used the radio station against you, churning out things you consider to be untrue.
Untrue. So when I go to court, and in court he is not able to establish the allegations, I'll be entitled to damages, though.
But more importantly,
damages. But again, I will have cleared my image.
Mm-hmm.
It is about integrity. When you challenge my integrity to that extent, you need to come and prove it, or I compensated.
For those of us who were not on the ground, exactly what was the biggest accusation against you from this station, which you are taking on?
You see, there was an allegation that I was selling protocol slots given to me. You see, when you speak like
protocol
that,
slots.
Slots given to me for appointments into these services. Do we have to take anything like that? Is it true? Somebody went and said that they gave him 200. He sold them. I mean, am I that person to go and sell? You know, if I had at all, is it for me to go and sell that kind of?
Honorable, understand there's a slight challenge.
Yes.
I need to take a break. When I return on this break, I need to explore this point that you're making. Upfront will return in a minute. Okay, you're welcome back. This is Upfront. My name is Raymond Alcom. My guest in studio is the Member of Parliament for Ashanti Achim North. Indeed, he is a very controversial Member of Parliament, and he is the one who asked Ken Ofori-Atta to go. Remember, Ken must go.
Does that make me controversial?
I certainly.
Can you eat back those words?
Yes, please. He says it's not controversial. He's a progressive Member of Parliament. Well, he's leaving Parliament, and he says he has no plans of returning. And we'll be having the conversation of why he lost the election. We are accounting for the ballot in Ashanti Achim North, where an independent candidate had over 26,000, and he, the current Member of Parliament, had close to 9,000. That's the conversation we are having. You're welcome back, sir. And we're on the point of, because I was interested in the kind of damning allegations they are making against you. And you say, somehow, they say you were rather, is this selling or sharing?
Selling.
Selling protocols that you've been given. Slots.
Mentioning huge figures. You see, and you didn't have any opportunity to respond to those.
But mostly a station, when there's an allegation, I have to call you and ask you to respond.
No, they won't call you. They never called me. In fact, on one occasion, they even said that I had paid the NDC candidate some heavy amount of money. What was it? They said 600,000 Ghana cedis. I paid him to play it soft for me. And the man wanted to go there to respond to it. It became a fight between them and him and the people in the studio. They
that would be irresponsible.
They wouldn't allow him to go and even respond to those allegations. And I'm told that it even went to the police station because there was a report that somebody had been assaulted and all that. I wasn't too interested in that because I thought that was, amateurish. So I didn't even pay attention.
But who believe those things?
Yes, but don't you think that people will believe it?
Shocking.
Within the setting that we find ourselves. You see, very rural setting, people will not believe that. They did.
Okay.
And he did all kinds of allegations thrown about, and people will believe it. In any case, when that is done, you make a complaint, it is not responded to. And you see, when you see the hands of the more powerful people in society in the local election, you will know that people are working to get you out.
Who are these more powerful people?
Yes, but you don't know that I was an endangered species, that I ought to have been taken out at the primaries. When it didn't succeed, they said, by all means.
When you and your people wanted to remove Ken Ofori-Atta?
Well, it is not
is that why people were chasing
something that we
you?
wanted to remove him. We thought that at the point in time, we needed a change in the finance ministry. So it was an honest appreciation of this situation. And the advocacy was planned, and I was the one chosen to do the advocacy on behalf of the group. You understand? So I became a target of attack because people saw me as being not responding to the expectations of my party.
But Ken Ofori-Atta was indeed removed before your primaries.
Yes, but will they, forgive you for what they call a sins of the generation? They won't.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
You see, they won't forgive you. So I knew the hands were chasing me, but I thought that I'd give it a try. I'll do my best.
Was there a lot
I have no regrets whatsoever for being the advocate on that occasion. I have no regrets. I'll do it again because that is what I believe in at the time. And it was a prayer that we put before the president. And indeed, we were within the Constitution. We had every opportunity and right to do so. So we did it within the Constitution to let the president understand that we are picking information from our constituencies that the hardship is getting unbearable, and it is because of the input from the finance ministry that people are facing those challenges. So let's just get him out and get somebody in so that at least the confidence that they will bring may even affect the economic progression. Somehow, people did not understand us and thought that, but if at all, I didn't do it for myself. I did it for the group. So it was just unfortunate that I became a target as a person. But some of my people too were targeted. And indeed, what we saw on occasions where people were throwing monies about, trying to remove, and they succeeded in removing some of my colleagues. And they did not succeed in my case, but they said, you need to fight again. And I couldn't survive the next fight.
The next fight.
All. In any case, like I said, I don't have any regrets because there is a load, heavy load that is lifted off my head, and I'm beginning to breathe again as a normal person in the economy. I'm enjoying my life again. Was
Ohene Frimpong more resourceful than you in the election?
I saw more resources, but I couldn't confirm that he was more
resourceful. You saw more resources.
Yes.
Okay, but you've been a deputy minister. You have been member of parliament for 2 different times.
Yes.
You have been as far back as being at, what was it, the enclave, what's it called? Free Zones Enclave. You're also a lawyer. How is it feasibly possible that the mere owner of a radio station in your town was more resourceful?
That's the question.
Mindful of the fact that his previous job was as a guitarist.
That is the question for me and you to answer. When you see people prosper within days, then you see there must be a hand. People who turn around their fortunes within a matter of weeks, then you should be careful. That is getting dangerous. Because on the eve of our primaries, all of a sudden somebody that could not compete with me in terms of resources was more resourceful than I was. Within a week, people got more resources and they were throwing resources even within the primaries.
Yes, that's true.
So I picked the morning and say, hey, what is happening?
And the special prosecutor said was investigating.
The morning of the primaries, I could see people carrying a lot of things and calling a lot of figures. I said, hey, what is happening? So I became, conscious of the fact that some people were getting more resourceful than otherwise they would be. Fortunately, I had people who had confidence in me that notwithstanding the disadvantage in resource capabilities, they would still vote for me. They did. But when we got to this point where, as you're saying, I don't know the history behind the wealth, but somehow, you see, Ghana is a
but he's your opponent. At least you have done some background on him. What is
my
his
background on him didn't reveal anything of that sort to merit the amount of resources that we saw in the contest. I never knew that there was anything like that. But you see, when you... I don't want to talk about some other people, but
yeah, because we know that he says his father set up the radio station.
You said what?
His father set up the radio station.
I don't have that information. And I have been there. I've been there all my life, so I never saw his father set up the radio station. I don't think so. And where is his father?
He said he's no longer alive recently.
So how would a dead person set up a radio station?
The man did before he died, and he was the main backbone.
His stepfather or his father?
Oh, well, I heard his father. But perhaps,
anyway.
I may not know much about that. Anyway. But you had an opponent. He is your opponent, so you should know him better than most of us.
No, that's why I'm asking questions.
That's why I'm also asking you. But I should be asking you, Honorable. No, I mean, because you are an election with somebody. You should know a person more than me who is sitting far from you and not in Ashanti Achim North.
What I know is that the man they call father is a stepfather.
Okay.
And I know the man didn't set up a radio station.
Very well. I've read it before, but I don't know if you say that's the case.
Yeah, because I never want to talk about.
I'm trying to account for the loss. I'm trying to see why the people.
At some point, he was more resourceful.
Okay.
I mean, let's put it at that point. So people who will come and justify the source of the resource, they are there. They will come and do that.
What is educational background?
You are asking because when I
know yours is popular. Yeah. When
I investigated his background, I wrote a letter to the Electoral Commission regarding pursuant to the Public Information Act.
Yeah.
So I inquired about every one of them, all my contestants, their background bringing into the competition. And I was told that he holds executive diploma from which university, from which college, was not indicated. And for me, I was once an SRC president at Legon, so I was a council member.
Yeah.
So I understand the academic structure. And in Legon, I never heard of anything like executive diploma. I knew there was executive MBA.
That's true. I've heard it before too.
Where some other people who were already in employment.
But maybe it's not Legon, it's some other school.
I haven't heard from it.
But you don't know the institution?
No, I don't. Because I asked, I was not provided with the information. In any case, I've been to several institutions in my position as SRC president.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a lot of
across the country, yeah.
Council for Educational Exchange. They took me around some of the universities in America to understudy their student government systems. So at least I know the course structures and the course announcements that I saw did not indicate anything like
executive diploma.
It doesn't.
Which country is this? From where?
It was also not indicated.
All right, so we don't know the school, we don't know. So that's what the AC gave you.
But again, that does not preclude him from contesting.
No, I'm not disputing. I just wanted to know from you the person that we do not know very much about. I'm elevating the conversation beyond your constituency. But before we do so, is it possible that because you did not see through this Ken must go, that's why people wanted you out?
Well, let me not be hypocritic.
Yeah.
My own government has pursued me in diverse ways after our advocacy.
Okay.
And that is for a fact. And let me put it on record today that even my life at some point in time was in danger.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
And I have suffered some ailment through the period, got treated, though was fortunate. And I thank God that I'm still alive.
But that must be terrible.
Yes.
But it's an internal engagement.
Some people talk about it in the press, somehow exaggerate, but I suffered pain. I got treated over time. And I got healed by the miracle of God.
I see.
So I have a history about it. I'm very careful now. I got careless just over a short period of time, and I suffered. But it won't happen again because I'm more careful now. But I also thank the American institutions for providing me with some level of security support.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. But your government is in power.
It doesn't matter. It is the air that is blowing. The air doesn't know who is behind the air. So I don't know who is behind the air, but I have suffered a lot out of the advocacy.
This Ken must go thing.
It is not something that just passed. Somebody was hurt. And those people who thought that they were hurt needed to punish. And the kind of punishment that I went through, somebody is talking in the media and mentioning names that are correct. You call a doctor's name on air, it is correct. You call a hospital's name, it is correct. You call a treatment process, it is correct. Sometimes you over-exaggerate and say that, you see, you call attempts at lifting me up from a hospital, it is correct.
No, I'm not sure what that means, please. Because you're talking about what happened to you.
Yes.
You were on admission.
Yes.
At a hospital.
Yes.
And there were attempts to take you out of that hospital.
Yes.
For a better hospital or what?
To lift me from that place into, probably bring me to Accra. And we were warned that I should not go. I should not use that medium of travel to come to Accra. So my wife decided that and at the time I couldn't take care of myself because I wasn't that conscious to take care of myself. But my wife refused the offer. So I did not come. So I stayed there for close to 7 days. And, somehow, God worked miraculously, so I don't know how I came out. And you see, when I was taken to the hospital at, 2 a.m., my PA, you see, I had talked to my PA, the last person, before I slept. When I started having the attack, I struggled to get my phone and call my PA because it was the last number I called. Mm-hmm. He came with the NADMO director in my village, the constituency, and they put me in a vehicle to the hospital, near the hospital. And this doctor was he's still my doctor. So he went there and he gave me. Then from there, I didn't see a thing until I heard they called Honorable. I said, yes, doc. Then he comes, he says, I said, oh, it is daylight now. Mm. He says, this is the 3rd day.
Oh, I see.
So all the things that happened, I was told.
Period. Yeah.
I was told about the attempt to lift and all that. I was told. But that is the end of the story because God made me to be careful now. So
I'm glad you're better.
Yes, I'm better. Very well.
But you have not stated the event. Was it suspected poisoning?
Well, that's what I was told, that I had some poisoning.
Okay.
I was told. But I had gone through some treatment and I'm fine.
And now you're hale and hearty?
I am very fine.
Brilliant. And we thank God that you are in good shape now.
Yes, I'm fine.
But it sounded like a small project. You didn't even get him removed in the first place anyway.
Yes.
And you didn't succeed.
When you attempt to attack people's integrity, it's a dangerous, enterprise. So you have to be careful. And I've always been careful. If you talk to my PA, he tells you that I don't even eat from outside. Mm. It was just on the occasion that I...
You did once?
Once.
Well, now, there's another conversation about all of these happenings. Are you sure one of the reasons why you were not voted again was because you didn't name this businessman that attempted to bribe you in Parliament? Some said you disappointed the OSP. They wrote it in their report that you did not even show up.
You see, I didn't show up. Somebody wrote that.
Yes.
I did show up. You see, the onus is on the investigator to extract the information that is that will help him make his case. Then the onus is not on me to prove.
But you knew this businessman.
To prove anything. But you come to want to interrogate me for information for your benefit. I am not a criminal. I will, at that point, be your witness.
Yes, that's true.
But you come to threaten me in my office that you are in charge, you in control, you can arrest me. And say,
oh, really?
So I tell you, there were members of parliament who also witnessed the interaction, who could also have corroborated the story. But you come and say, all of you, I sack you from here. And they say, this is parliament. They say, yes, I'm in control. I sack you from here. I will not let you sit in. People who are prepared to sacrifice information to you, you treat them like that, show them that disrespect.
This is the OSP?
Yes, somebody from the office of the OSP, not the OSP himself.
Asking parliamentarians to walk out so that I can speak to only you.
Yes. So I decided to exercise my right of silence.
Not cooperate with him.
So I don't know if that amounts to not cooperating, but I told him that, also that I have a right to refuse to talk. He said yes. I said, okay, I exercise that right.
But it must be strange, right?
Because when you're seeking
that's the backstory.
You see, that's the backstory. But again, I would think that people who work on such shadows must be trained properly.
Okay.
So I told him that you don't go to the dungeon of dwarves to attempt to do magic, because they are the source of magic. So you come to me, a lawyer by profession, and want to intimidate me before you extract information from me, you won't get anything. And if you want to even pursue this, I can mention some people to you to talk to, the people he sacked from the meeting, honorable members of parliament.
Who are willing to volunteer this information?
Who are willing to volunteer information. In fact, that person had come to us and we had sent him away with his money. So for me, it wasn't a big deal telling this that he came. And I wasn't there alone. Mm-hmm. There were other members of parliament with me. And indeed, they attempted to bring the money to me, and one person, one or two, happened outside, and I courted him inside to see the whole group. You understand? So the whole group was there when I said, take your money and go away. We are not interested in this money and that kind of thing. So the people were there because when the OSP came, they were willing to sacrifice information also. But he came very antagonistic, trying to intimidate everybody and trying to boss over everybody. I said, this is the presence of parliament. And you can't be in control in parliament here. So we also wanted to prove to him that his claim of being in control was false.
Well, that's an interesting point. Now, let's move beyond your constituency. Now, do you regret pursuing that particular agenda?
Which one is this?
The one on Ken Ofori-Atta going.
No, I don't regret. You see...
even with death threats?
No, I don't regret.
Even regardless of what you went through?
I am a descendant of one great man in Ghana. And I think I have some of those traits. I'm a descendant of Tinubu Akodia.
Oh, okay. Death Tinubu Akodia?
Yes.
The one that sacrificed the...
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is no shame if, because of what I believe in, I have to give up my life. It's no shame. It's happened before. Again, if there is anything I don't have, it is not about bravery. At least I'm not a coward. So if I want to speak my mind, I will do. I cannot be intimidated. I don't know the words intimidation. No, I don't. So I would have said it. In fact, when we finished with the discussion and wanted to, in fact, we had wanted to meet the president, and the president would not meet us. That is how come we had to use that medium.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We had a meeting in Eugene's house. We invited our leader, Honorable Seche Mensah, to the meeting. We invited Honorable First Deputy Speaker to the meeting. And we told them to arrange a meeting for us to meet the president. It was impossible. But we wanted to, air our views on the subject matter. So it was the only avenue to do so. And indeed, people were accusing Honorable Seche Mensah wrongly. On the day that we wanted to hold a press conference, we got one of our kind to go and hold him into discussion, make sure that he doesn't leave his seat, so that we will do our thing before he gets to know.
Okay.
So he didn't even know that we were doing
going to hold a press conference, yeah.
He got to know after the conference had finished. You understand?
But it's one of the reasons why people felt he was removed as majority leader.
Well, he was also wrongly attacked. And if I'm attacked wrongly, what is wrong if him also being attacked?
Okay, that's also interesting. Anyway, now, but fast forward. The NDC, the NPP has lost seats in places, even in the Ashanti region. That is marvelous.
You see,
we have counted more than 6 or 7 seats since I was born. It has been the 3 or 4 that's always been maintained.
You see, the loss in the Ashanti region has various reasons.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is lack of development in the Ashanti region.
Lack of development?
Yes, in Ashanti.
But how so?
Listen.
That's stronghold.
Listen. You talk of even infrastructure development. President Kufuor started one interchange in Kumasi, didn't finish. It is there.
That's Swami interchange?
Not the Swami one. The one, Prempeh College area.
Sofu line?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It is there as it was left. The Swami interchange. The Ofori Krum one. All of these on the drawing board. And then you hear one commission here, one commission there, one commission there. And this is your stronghold. What do you take them for? And there was a time President went there and they talked about roads, and he was so cheeky to them, even to the chiefs. You understand? And you take them for granted. And indeed, one thing though, I also blame ourselves as members of parliament. The whip system You see, you are members, we are the biggest majority, caucus.
Yeah.
We should demand, not ask for. You see, when you ask and people say, we won't do it, you understand? And some of the times, it's our own ministers also. Some of them, you call them, they won't even pick their phones.
You member of parliament?
I'm telling you.
To your colleague minister?
Some of them who are even juniors in age, juniors in profession, but probably ministers, even juniors in parliament, but probably ministers of state, they won't pick your call. And you see, the performance of a member of parliament, unfortunately, is determined also by the level of infrastructure that you can attract into your constituency. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately. Forgetting that you don't have any power to determine what should be done and what should not be done, notwithstanding the advocacy that you do about the need.
I get you.
So sometimes you go to your minister, he will not do it for you. And indeed, we are not equitable in distribution of even the resources and the projects. You see, some people, some of them, once one of our chiefs told me, when you need power, you come here crying. Let us all support your party. Let us all. When you get power, you throw the party to other people and you come here. Look at the road that you use coming here. When we're giving you power, you concentrate power in somebody's hands and we don't see the benefit of the power. So we have to be equitable in distribution of the projects. Kumasi, as the second city, didn't see any such interchange. And the interchanges are happening here and there, everywhere. You think that the people who are watching the TV and seeing that the good interchanges, the beautiful ones are here and there, you think that they are not thinking about, so where are those for us?
But this is your party. This is your
so if it's your party, you will take the resources and give to even your opponents, where you don't even have presence, and leave me, and then tomorrow you come and call me to come and still support you. You see, the people in Ashanti...
Is that why Ashanti did not vote as much?
The people in the Ashanti region, they won't vote for NDC.
True.
They won't vote. But they want to express their hate by not even participating at all. You see, I used to tell my party that anybody's vote is necessary, it's important. We took it upon ourselves, myself and a group of people, tried to go as far as to go and talk to Bishop Doug Mills.
Okay, Hayward Mills.
Hayward Mills. We went there. We went to talk to some prominent people who were close to Alan and some Anglican bishops trying to
bring him back from there.
We tried, but I'm sure our effort was not successful. We needed him to come back. We needed him to come back. It is not that he was indispensable, but it was a necessary effort. We needed him. Some people in Kumasi, if you like it or not, they always supported Alan. Mm-hmm. And when Alan left the party, these people will not go with him because they are MPP.
True.
But if they are unhappy because they are unhappy with the situation, they will not come out to vote because they cannot see themselves voting for NDC. They won't come out to vote. So it's important that we keep everybody in. Let us get.
But you had a running mate slot. You in Asante had the running mate slot. A blessed child of Otufor, he has actually said himself. Macho Poku Prempe. He should have delivered the votes from Ashanti.
Well, it depends on how the Ashanti people also saw him.
How so?
You see, you remember my case with Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe.
You did not support him?
No, I did not. At some point, I did not support him. Trust me, I told him that I wouldn't support you because being an Ashanti minister, we expected some form of preferential treatment as Ashanti MPs on whose shoulders you have come. I had not seen his hand in my constituency, even in terms of educational infrastructure or energy infrastructure. I had not seen his hand. So what was there for me to support? I wasn't going to support him. So when I met with him, in fact, I was open in advocating that I would support him. And when I did that, some people arranged for us to meet. When we met, I told him that, how do you expect me to support you when you are indifferent towards me? I won't support you. Because other people, other ministers from other regions were supporting their MPs. And you are not supporting me. So I will not. And my support is not arbitrary, like because...
Mainly because you are from the region, you support,
No. Let me have a justification for the support. So, indeed, from then, he put up a package for me. And the package was an extension of electricity to some parts of the rural communities.
Yeah.
And indeed, at one point, I told him that Minister Amewu, though not from my region, had helped me with electricity infrastructure in the rural part of my community. But the extension in the major towns, I was crying always, and I wasn't getting a response. So, but let me be truthful and thankful to him. Since then, he also supported an initiative to bring the extension project to some of the Agugujansa, Hidiem, Kutuasi, and the like. But those projects are now even ongoing. If people blame me for not extending electricity for them in the various communities, they will blame me for it, but it is not my fault. I had done
You're not Minister for Energy anyway.
Yes, and we had Minister for Energy.
Yes.
But let me also take this opportunity to also congratulate and thank the present Minister for Energy.
Okay.
He also supported me.
Herbert Kappa.
Herbert.
Okay,
but
that's interesting. There are a few questions I want to ask you about. Who should take the highest blame?
Don't you let me finish my gratitude to Herbert.
Oh, you have finished the gratitude to Herbert?
I haven't finished. He gave me some street lighting to give to the communities. And if you come there now, you see
the place. Okay.
And the projects that Honorable Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh also started is currently also ongoing. So I'm grateful to him.
How much of the blame should go to Dr. Bawumia?
Dr. Bawumia, since I've seen politics, I haven't seen a candidate that has done this rigorous campaign.
Okay.
Not even President Kufuor, because I was very close to President Kufuor, but Dr. Bawumia's campaign was something else. I haven't seen it before. So I am so sad for him because the campaign did not produce the expected results. He toured the length and breadth of the country, everywhere. The last place he came was in my constituency. So I asked myself, so where did the crowd go to?
The masses that came there.
Masses that came. And it is because Dr. Bawumia was phenomenal, but anytime he left, the work on the ground suffered. And I don't want anybody to come and claim any glory and say that we brought the crowd. No, he himself was a crowd puller.
Oh, I see.
But the people who were supposed to do the work on the ground didn't do it. So they disappointed him. All of us, I'm not sure we did what was right. In my particular case, my constituency executives were campaigning against me.
Oh, okay.
My chairman, my vice chairman, they were campaigning against me.
How much of the blame should go to President Akufo-Addo?
Well, the blame will go by extension because he refused to listen to us even when we saw reality and we tried to communicate to him. He wouldn't take anything of that sort. He was too recalcitrant. That is how come we're blaming him. He didn't do enough to help Dr. Bawumia because if you listen to your own MPs, come on. So if it is not one person who was speaking, we're doing the advocacy for more than 96 members of parliament then. So are you saying that all of us couldn't reason right? It is not a case that one person was saying something which was uncalled for. We had met, we had written our resolution, and because we didn't have opportunity, we wanted to air it for him to hear. And you will not listen to any one of us, all of us put together? So that's how far we can blame him for that.
Now,
and you see, the deterioration started from there.
Okay.
Because we had seen the rot going on, and we wanted to let you know so that we can take remedial action. You won't listen to us. One person will bring all of us to this situation.
What do you think about the kind of MPs that are being elected now? Young, sometimes inexperienced, and a mixed bag
Yes,
of them.
we have young men. We cannot say that because they are young, they are inexperienced.
True.
We cannot also say that because they are young, they are incapable. No.
Okay.
So we can see some young, brilliant people who come and do even better than the most experienced. But it is better if we had maintained more senior people to be able. You see, Parliament is about debate. The debate is between majority and minority. Even to build the confidence to be able to stand on your feet, to call for attention, it's not easy.
Okay.
And Parliament is not an ordinary platform where you can even talk to your friends like, no. When you rise at the behest of the Speaker, you are speaking to a Speaker of Parliament of Ghana.
Okay.
And therefore you need a certain level of courage and understanding of the parliamentary procedure and on the issues that you are raising.
This is a conversation we should explore in the future. And even though you say you are retiring from constituency politics, hopefully we should be getting you to speak to us on national issues more.
Well, of course. And more importantly, even speak to legal issues in the country. I do it all the time. People call me, and I'm very interested in constitutional law, so because particularly the last application before the Supreme Court, I spoke about it profusely and speaking my mind on the practice direction, the procedures, and the appropriate laws, and the reliefs sought. And let me not end without referring us
because my time is up.
Referring us to the CI 127.
Yes.
The reliefs there. People have always made mistakes, always going to court seeking the annulment of resource. The second leg is seek a restoration of the second person as the winner. And the last one is confirm the resource. So why always take annulment of the resource and leaving the confirmation of the second person as a winner?
I'm sure this is free legal advice for them, but my guest has been the Honorable Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, who is still Member of Parliament of Ashanti Achim North. Many thanks to you for watching today's Upfront, and many thanks to you, Honorable.
Thank you very much, my brother. And I wish the people of Ashanti Achim North very well. The new MP, I wish him well.
Thank you.
Let's put